Sasa tunaingia kipindi ya siasa. Kila mtu ako na uhuru sasa.
Tunauliza rais ambaye amestaafu hawe na heshima na Wakenya.
Nataka nimuombe rais wetu wa Kenya, tafadhali bwana rais, you shouldn't be the source of threats in Kenya. Wacha kutisha wa Kenya.
Kenya's political stage is set for a stormy weekend as the Jubilee party prepares for a decisive national delegates conference with just 2 days to go. The country's power brokers are unsettled and the tremors are being felt from Statehouse to the village grassroots.
Asanteni.
Former President Uhuru Kenyatta has re-emerged from political hibernation with a war chest said to be worth billions. Money, insiders claim, is already flowing to secure the spectacle he wants on Friday. His mission is clear: revive Jubilee, shake the dust off its old structures and hand the party to former Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i. What looks like a routine delegates meeting has instead turned into a high-stakes power gamble that is rattling the presidency and threatening to redraw Kenya's political map.
Tunaelewana? Na mimi nataka nimwambie rais, wacha kuniletea maneno my friend. Wewe sukuma candidate yako bwana kitendawili. Unaniongelea nini? Sijui kama tunaelewana. Mr. President, please stop talking about me.
For weeks, whispers have trailed the corridors of power about Uhuru's moves. At first, they were dismissed as idle talk from restless loyalists who never came to terms with his retirement. But the whispers have grown into loud murmurs, and now the reality has sunk in at Statehouse. Uhuru is back in play and is not just testing the waters. His billions have guaranteed that Friday's National Delegates Convention will not be business as usual.
Kuna mtu nilifukuza? Wenyewe ndio walijiondoa ama ni mimi niliwaondoa? Sini wenyewe walijiondoa.
Statehouse, meanwhile, is in a last-minute scramble. President William Ruto and his inner circle are said to be burning the midnight oil, strategizing on how to contain the political damage. There is a growing fear that if Matiang'i emerges as the undisputed heir of Jubilee, the ruling coalition will face a new and stubborn challenger ahead of the 2027 polls. The situation is delicate. Ruto's political partnership with Raila Odinga has already raised eyebrows, and Uhuru's sudden revival of Jubilee complicates matters further.
Nimshukuru ndugu yangu mkubwa Raila Amolo Odinga kwa kunishika mkono na kuunganisha Kenya mzima, anisaidie kuweka Kenya pamoja.
At the heart of the tension is control. Jubilee, once the party that propelled Uhuru and Ruto to power in 2013, has been in tatters since the infamous fallout between the founding partners. Many had written it off as a shell, abandoned by voters and stripped of influence. But Uhuru, ever the strategist, seems to believe it can rise again under Matiang'i's stewardship. The former minister, respected for his no-nonsense style during his days in government, could provide Jubilee with a fresh face it desperately needs.
Mwezi wa 8 tuamke mapema, kila moja wetu tupige kura saa 2 asubuhi. Ikianza kuhesabiwa ajue ya kwamba ameenda nyumbani.
Not everyone is thrilled by the idea. A faction of Jubilee led by KANINI KEGA is resisting the takeover, arguing that handing the party to Matiang'i is a betrayal of its loyal members. But against the backdrop of Uhuru's billions, their protests risk being drowned out. Money has always been the oil of Kenyan politics, and this time it is flowing in amounts that few can match.
In any political party, for more than 6 months after ceasing to hold office as president, the former party leader ceased to hold office as the party leader of Jubilee in March 2023. Therefore, any communication.
The timing of Uhuru's move is particularly unsettling for Ruto. The president has spent the last 2 years consolidating power, pacifying restless allies, and crafting a narrative of control. The thought of a rejuvenated Jubilee, bankrolled and rebranded under Matiang'i, threatens to steal the spotlight and disrupt the balance he can carefully build. To complicate matters, Raila's position has grown more ambiguous. His earlier gestures towards supporting Ruto in 2027 have been clouded by conflicting statements, leaving his true intentions uncertain. Uhuru's return only deepens the uncertainty.
You have not passed any resolution as a party to say how we are going to go into the elections of 2027. So wherever you are, don't commit the party to some things which have not been discussed.
Friday's meeting is shaping up to be more than just internal Jubilee affairs. It is a test of loyalty, influence, and money power. If Uhuru succeeds, he will re-enter the political arena with vengeance, dragging along old allies and fresh recruits eager for a new platform. If Matiang'i is endorsed, it will not only hand him a political party, but also propel him into the national limelight as a serious contender for 2027. Ruto's camp is not taking chances. Plans are already underway to counter the momentum for the NDC. From backroom deals to hurried media engagements, the ruling coalition is pulling every level available. But the clock is ticking and the tide appears to be shifting.
Wachana na William Ruto. I supported you when you needed a man to support you. If you do not want to support me, leave me alone.
Kenya has seen political comebacks before, but this one carries an edge of surprise and defiance. Uhuru had seemed content in the shadows, occasionally surfacing to defend his family's name, but largely keeping away from active politics. His sudden re-entry, armed with billions and a bold plan, feels like a calculated ambush. The symbolism of Jubilee's rebirth cannot be ignored. A party many thought was dead could rise from the ashes, guarded by a new torchbearer, but still backed by the old guard.
Shida ya watu siku hizi, everybody sijui mumeogopeshwa, sijui even you gena, naona rudi uingie hii majenzi, nyinyi ndio the story of the future. Fight for your rights bwana, sio kukaa hapo wakaa hapo.
For Raila Odinga, the developments present an uncomfortable dilemma. His working relationship with Ruto is already shaky, and the entry of Uhuru and Matiang'i complicates the arithmetic. A three-horse race is now more likely than ever, with each camp jostling to outspend, outmaneuver, and outwit the other.
We are ODM. Who's told you that ODM will not have a candidate in 2027? Who has told you?
In the next 48 hours, all eyes will be on Jubilee's gathering. What was expected to be a routine meeting has now turned into the most watched political event of the year. The outcome will not just determine the future of one party. It could redraw alliances, unsettle existing coalitions, and tilt the path to 2027 in directions few had imagined.
Jubilee oye! Wana Jubilee oye! Wana Jubilee mpo!
Kenya's politics thrives on surprises, but even by its chaotic standards, the drama unfolding around Uhuru's billions and Matiang'i's rise has the making of a seismic shift.
Asikia huko, hakuna kazi inafanywa, hakuna. Wakiongea juu ya magari, ni matusi, hakuna kazi na. Sasa jameni, mimi nataka niwaambie hata chama hiyo ya rais ilikufa. Mimi niliomba kura ya Wakenya kutimiza ahadi ambazo nilipatia wananchi.